Hi, this is Daniel Park with another update for the Professor UI. It's week 2 right now, and I started working on the Simulcast Lectures API. So for this part of the project, we're trying to create an API which allows us to make things really modular. So right now we're using Clutter and MX for the UI, but if we decided to go with a different UI, it would be really easy for us to replace it simply by building upon this API that we're trying to construct. So I did a lot of cleaning up of the code and rearranging stuff. So right now we have on our SVN repository a directory called Simulcast, which contains a file, just one file, to interface with any sort of UI. So on the right side here, I have the code I've been working on. Contains a couple classes. Most of them are empty. However, 2 of them have been implemented so far. The pen class, which is supposed to store RGB values for the pen that the professor uses to draw on the touchscreen. It's also supposed to store values for the size of the pen as well as the opacity. And last but not least, also worked a bit on the slides class, which basically stores an array list of any glib object that you pass to it. The specific purpose of this class is to be able to store images. For our case, we're just going to store pixbuffs. But in case we decide to go with a different image format, the array list has been implemented as a glib object array list, so it makes it really easy to pass pretty much anything to it. Last but not least, I worked a bit on the actual UI itself. I pretty much picked up from where I last left off, which was implementing the slides expander. We needed to find a way to capture a portion of the screen and store it as a thumbnail on one of the expanders, and finally got that working, which was actually not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I could actually show it to you right now. Let's see. So right now, slides expander is empty, but if you click this add slide button several times, the slides expander is now populated with actual images, and these images correspond to what's up here. I pretty much just made it capture the top left corner. It's not entirely useful yet, but the fact that it works is a really good indication that we're off to a great start. The image is a bit distorted, but I think that has to do with the parameters that I pass to the function that captures images. So I just need to fix that up a bit. And let's see. So what's left to do is pretty much finishing this part of the UI. It's going to be a bit tricky because these thumbnails actually need to correspond to slides that will sort of overlay this part of the screen. And in order to do that, we'll need to separately store what's drawn on the screen and what's behind what's drawn, which is the video feed. Because otherwise, if we just screen captured this, it would be permanently, this green stuff would be permanently saved to an image, and the professor or lecturer would have no way of erasing it when they decide to go back to this certain slide. So I'll have to figure out a way to solve that problem. But that's pretty much it for this update.